Today I'm going to explain my thoughts on Minecraft's attempts to add content to the game and why it keeps failing. In my opinion, I think the sniffer is the golden example of a flopped addition to a game. The animal and the lore behind it, the animations, and everything about this mob is cool. But for something to be worth it for the player experience, it has to provide something to the player. Something useful, something worth doing. As it stands, the only reason players even want sniffers is to complete the 2x2 achievement. As an example, we have turtles. You have to find 2 turtles, breed them, and then wait for a long time for those eggs to hatch, and then wait even longer for them to grow up to collect the scutes, which you can then use to craft a helmet that gives you 10 seconds of water breathing. Personally, I've never seen anyone use the turtle shell. Why? Because it's not really worth getting. It's a lot easier to just get a door if you want water breathing, or just to get respiration 3. It's way more work than it's worth, and that's why no one ever really does it. I mean, I've done it, but I've never actually used it for more than just decoration or as a trophy. Now take the example and multiply it by 10. The sniffer eggs are even harder to find than 2 turtles are. And then once you do eventually find the sniffer eggs, you can place them and you wait a day or 2, and then you have this huge, annoying creature lumbering about your world, occasionally giving you only 2 different types of seeds. For all of that work that you had to put in, you'd expect those 2 seeds to give you a new crop or plant to make a potion or something. But no, it's just flowers, just like every other flower that can be used to make cyan or orange dye, which is already doable with just red and yellow dye or green and blue dye. They didn't really add any new content because the end goal of getting a sniffer isn't anything new. To me, the sniffer is just empty content. If the sniffer wasn't added, it doesn't really change anything. You still have orange and cyan dye, you still have a plethora of different flowers to choose from to decorate your base, and you'd still have the 2x2 achievement completed. The only thing I can see that is added is just new decorative blocks. It's basically just the new copper. People thought of so many ways that copper could have been really cool and unique and useful, but all we got was decorative blocks that no one ever really uses except for extremely specific cases. At least copper you can find in abundance. If you did want to use copper, you can at least find it very easily and get loads of it. But that's not the case with the pitcher pod and the torch flower. It is extremely difficult to get any significant amount of the new plants, and you have to constantly be attentive to when they sniff and dig up the seeds so that they don't despawn. I personally think the torch flower could have been used to make a new potion. I don't know, maybe a glow potion, as it's already an effect in the game, could have literally turned yourself into a human torch and given off light around the player, instead of using torches. The pitcher pod could have added another new potion effect or something, but as it stands, they don't really do anything except for be decorative blocks and give you dyes that were already in the game. In conclusion, I think the sniffer could have added a lot more into the game, and still could later in the future, but as it stands, it's what I like to call empty content.